Welcome back once again to Frontliner YouTube channel, and thank you so much for your great support that you are showing me on this platform. Now, my fellow Kenyans, yesterday on Thursday 13th November at night, I took my time and I watched the News Gang by Citizen TV journalists, and I realized that we still have a long way to go as the people of Kenya to reach Singapore, which the President of the Republic of Kenya, William Ruto, is busy trying to tell Kenyans that under his leadership, he will make sure that the people of Kenyans reach Singapore. But according to what is happening under the leadership of William Ruto, we are not going to reach Singapore as soon as possible under the leadership of President William Ruto at this particular moment where the people of Kenyans are facing different challenges on his government, where some of the challenges are the things that William Ruto promised the people of Kenya that he will not allow to happen under his leadership after being sworn in as the fifth President of the Republic of Kenya. And before we proceed with this conversation, allow me to play for you the clips of the video that is going to give you the data analysis on the reason why we are not going to reach Singapore as soon as possible with the kind of bad leadership under the government of President William Ruto. And before you watch the video, ensure that you like our videos. When you like the video, you automatically shows your support on what I'm doing on this platform. Thank you so much for that support of the like, and you can watch the video.
So our president wants Kenya to be like Singapore. The skyscrapers, the spotless streets, the efficiency, the digital economy. All very inspiring. But before we start sketching our skyline, perhaps we should first fix the road to Manga, Mote and Momwamu in Nyamira County. Because, Your Excellency, Singapore did not become Singapore by holding conferences about Singapore. It started by fixing the small things. Roads that don't drown in mud, promises that don't dissolve in the rain. It's been 3 years since the then Deputy President William Ruto stood on a podium in Nyamira and promised a tarmac road. The people there are still waiting for that tarmac you launched, not at a construction site, but on a campaign podium. You even quoted the kilometers, 300 of them. Remember? Yes, it was true in speech, but kwa ground mambo ni tofauti. What the locals have today isn't tarmac, it's a mud bath with potholes so deep they could qualify as fish ponds. And in Bungoma, residents are now hosting weekly road shows, not the political kind, the protest kind, because vehicles get stuck so often they've become part of the local landscape. Yet you keep hearing that Kenya is on the Singapore path. Yes, maybe if Singapore also started with unfulfilled road projects, delayed tenders, and citizens trekking through sludge. Let's be honest. Before we dream of flying cars and bullet trains, we should probably learn how to keep a pickup from sinking in a village road. Singapore wasn't built in a day, but it was built. Meanwhile, in Kenya, we are still launching what we never finish, promising what we can't deliver, and branding potholes as development challenges. You see, Singapore didn't get there by launching projects it never finished or by turning campaign pledges into folklore. Singapore built system. But here, we build ceremonies and cut ribbons. In fact, in Kenya, we have two kinds of roads. Those that exist in speeches and those that exist in suffering. The road to Singapore, it seems, is paved with colorful promises, cancelled tenders, and angry residents. So, Your Excellency, by all means, let's chase the Singapore dream. But maybe our road to Singapore begins in Nyamira and Bungoma and every forgotten corner where citizens are still waiting for the basics. Because you can't pave the road to Singapore if you haven't even paved the road to a school. And that is my memo.
Leadership is not about power, it's about service. Yet in Kenya, where 47 counties seek progress
So that is what is happening. And that is the reason why we are not going to reach Singapore. You can't compare Singapore with Kenya. We can't reach at that level. Kenya cannot be like Singapore because of the bad leadership, because of the tribalism, because of the challenges that Kenya is facing after every 5 years of election, because of how any elected president is behaving after being sworn in as the new president, because these people always start campaigning just a day after being sworn in. Simulona ya Uhuru Kenyatta, ya Kibaki, ya Jomo Kenyatta, ya Moi. Yani wakishaapishwa tu hivi, kesho yake they always start preparing themselves ahead of the next general election. Instead of putting politics aside and delivering to the people of Kenyans, they normally start preparing the roads again ahead of how they are going to receive the officers again, instead of working for the people of Kenya so that Kenyans can really witness what they did under the 5-term limit in this country of Kenya of leadership. Because the leadership in this country of Kenya was not made for rules, but for services. But what is happening under the leaders in this country of Kenya, under the leaders of Kenya, it is all about rule, but not service, because 80% of leaders in this country of Kenya are doing things that favor their family, relative, and the government, but not things that can favor the normal mwananchi. And 20% are the only leaders that always remember the people of Kenyans who voted for them at difficulty moment. And I can tell you the few of them. Number one is Babu Owino, Edwin Sifuna, Caleb Amisi, and who again, and among other leaders under opposition side. Forget about the leaders that are in government. Those people are busy fighting for their stomach, but not for the people who make them to be the way, to be inside the places that they are at this particular moment, whereby they have refused to do things that can favor a normal mwananchi who really struggle on the ballot box to make sure that they were going to occupy different offices in this country of Kenya, starting from MCA, MP, governor, women rep, and president. And the big challenge that we have in this country of Kenya is that we normally combined politics and leadership. This country of Kenya or any other country in Africa cannot improve their economy and development project if politics is compared with leadership. Because these leaders will not have enough time to work for the people of Kenya, but they will have enough time to discuss the political issues in this country of Kenya. Political affairs of attacking one another each and every day, but not remembering the reason why they were elected, to make sure that they serve the people of Kenyans equally without favoring any citizen in this country of Kenya, whereby nowadays the National Assembly is the bedroom of William Samoei Ruto. I'm not lying, it is true. David Ochieng, the MP from Ugenya constituency in Siaya County, confirmed to the parliament on how they have been doing things on William Samoei Ruto, but not things that can favor the people of Kenyans. These leaders always serve the interest. 80% of leaders in this country of Kenya always serve the interest of Kenyans at that time, which they want us to vote for them so that they can occupy different offices after 5-term limit of leadership in this country of Kenya. Hapo ndo wanatukumbuka kama wananchi that we need to remember those people. But kama sio hivyo, hakuna kitu ingine. The interest of Kenyans voters are being served at the particular time when election is approaching. Like right now, 90% of leaders are now working harder on the ground to make sure that they confuse and convince the people of Kenyans to vote for them ahead of the general election that is going to happen in this country of Kenya in 2022. 2027. Thank you so much for your great support of watching our videos, and may God bless you. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you like our videos, you comment, and you can also share this video to reach to many people as much as possible so that we can get updates on what is happening across the country here in Kenya, inside the political class, breaking news, social issues, and current events that is happening in this country of Kenya under the government of the day of William Samoei Ruto, and also under the opposition leaders.